Okay, so you're not.
I'm not going to. Do you want them to pull over here?
And go get 3 and 4. No, they're fine there. Just pull them out.
We're number 11.
Out of my car. Thank you. Around your shoulders? Hi. Hi. You want it around your shoulders? Okay.
Emily Marvin Hunt for the province of British Columbia.
Let's get through behind you there.
Councillor Judy Villeneuve, on behalf of the City of Surrey.
That's why Dad was giving you that. Is there a stand? Is this
Sorry,
stand?
Ken, I really had
You
to.
okay? Is this a stand? Oh, yeah. Why do that?
I will be posting this video on YouTube later too. So.
Great.
Yeah, I've got a 4K camera on here, so it's all good.
5 MB.
4K's better.
On behalf of the Surrey School Board District District 36, Chairman Sean Wilson.
Stop. It's taking video.
On behalf of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, Sergeant Strachan and Constable Dixon.
Next Afghan.
On behalf of the Afghan veterans, Charmaine Carruthers, Second Lieutenant PCR, Paul Keller, Master Corporal, Royal Westminster Regiment. On behalf of the Surrey firefighters, Local 1271, Scott Beeson, Chad Hensby,
It gets very crowded.
representing Equitas Disabled Soldiers Funding Society, Holly Scott.
Was that Galaxy 5?
Yeah.
Was that Galaxy 5?
Yes.
That's fine.
Another commemoration, 25 years ago, the Cold War signified its end with the destruction of the Berlin Wall. On behalf of the NATO and OTAN veterans, Paul Schwartz, veteran of that era.
It's on behind the bar. It's up too loud. It's up to about 3 or 4.
A special
That's what
part of Canadian tradition, the Canadian Peacekeepers, Robert Fraser. Representing the Black Knights Royal Canadian Air Cadets, Officer Cadet Chi, Cadet Harbrink. As we're about halfway through the wreath laying, I would ask that all the presenters please stay down here by the cenotaph for a very special presentation at the conclusion of the wreath laying. Representing on behalf of the Royal Canadian Legion, Crescent Branch 240, our President, Ivan Theriault. On behalf of the Aboriginal veterans, Councillor Charles.
Yeah, there's two.
Representing the Rotary Club of White Rock, veteran Roger Olson. On behalf of the Rotary Club of White Rock Peninsula, Jim Scott, President. Would the representative of the Kiwanis Club of White Rock please come forward to lay the wreath? Representing the White Rock South Surrey Hospice Society, Bill Ruppel. On behalf of Sunnyside Villas Society, Bill Wallace. Would the representative of the Seniors Come Share Society come forward to lead? In honor of Mr. and Mrs. Grasdell, George Grasdell, their son. In honor of Alphonse Blake, Sharon Hanlon. In honor of Gordon Brown, Daniel, Lloyd, Chris Logan, and Trevor Logan. In honor of Gordon L. Kamek, Eunice and Margaret Leanne Joel. This concludes the official wreath laying. You are invited, of course, after the ceremony to deposit your poppy as your own symbol or wreath. I would now ask all the dignitaries who laid the wreath to join the executive on branch 240, where I will pass over the ceremony to our President, Commander, or that's my Navy training, President Eve Ontario, for a very special presentation.
Thank you very much. I'd like to have all the dignitaries behind me. Bruce Morrison, where are you?
Fire department? Yeah. Okay. Calling Booth. Fire department?
Okay, are we getting Charmaine? Yep. Charmaine Carruthers? I would like to thank everybody for coming. I will not speak too much. I've asked Marvin to speak. So he is inside the gun. Sir, head around. You bring in Mark and the escort, please. Over there. Where's Mark? Mark is also with Lydia. Please forward, please. Come and bring them forward. Thank you for coming today. At this point, I will. I'm not going to say any more because he's going to say everything. So Marvin, could you come forward, please?
Well, this afternoon it's a great honor to represent the Governor General of Canada at this most auspicious opportunity. I'd just like to read to you the citation, because the citation is, I think it's absolutely awesome for us to have this opportunity. But this is an award to Chief Warrant Officer John Mitches, MMM, CD retired, Second World War veteran, being awarded the French Legion of Honor. The government of France has announced the awarding of the rank of Knight of the National Order of the Legion of Honor to Chief Warrant Officer John Mitches, as Second World War Royal Canadian Engineer veteran and a participant in the Battle of the Liberation of France, who also went on to serve a full post-war career. Now, the National Order of the Legion of Honor was created by Napoleon Bonaparte, then the first consul of France, in May 19th of 1802, as a general military and civil honor order of merit conferred without regard to birth or religion, provided that anyone admitted swears to uphold liberty and equality. The membership of the Legion is remarkably egalitarian. Both men and women, French citizens and foreigners, civilians and military personnel, irrespective of rank, birth, or religion, can be admitted to any of the classes of the Legion. Admission into this order requires 20 years of civil achievement in peacetime or extraordinary military bravery and service in time of war. Now, Sergeant Mitches was 22 years old. He was a reconnaissance sergeant for his troop that was part of the 18th Field Company, Royal Canadian Engineers. He landed with the Nova Scotia Highlanders, and those that know French geography, please excuse my butchering of the language, Bernay-sur-Mer, before noon on June the 6th. The squadron was with the 9th Brigade that passed through the beachhead that had been created by the 7th and 8th Brigades. The beachhead was extremely congested at that time, and the rally point was Benet-sur-Mer. Once the brigade had started pushing out of the beachhead, the task of John's platoon was to destroy obstacles and clear mines along the route of advancement. His role as a REC sergeant was to move out the lead troops and send information back to the troops about the engineering tasks that would have to be worked on. There was heavy fighting all into the first night, with advances that halted north of Caen. When the advance continued over the next several days, Sergeant Mitges continued his REC tasks in support of the lead elements of the battalion. On the 11th of June, he was wounded in the head, chest, and leg, and was evacuated to a field hospital on the beach where he was treated for 10 days. Recovering, he hitchhiked back to his unit instead of going back through the normal channels because he didn't want to get hung up in an infantry unit on the way back. Sergeant Mitges stayed with the 18th Field Command as they advanced across the Rhine and all the way to the Baltic coast, where the unit became the primarily involved in mine clearance. The Germans had resorted to laying sea mines in the ground, as that was all they had left towards the end of the war. It was during the clearing of one such mine on the last day of the war that he was again wounded in the leg after the mine detonated while his team was too close to it. He was evacuated to the hospital at Mayo, France, and was later rejoined his unit and returned to England. He continued in returning to Canada in December 1945, was transferred to a small permanent force posted at the Royal Canadian School of Military Engineers in Chilliwack. And in 1947, he was one of 3 REC personnel seconded to the United Kingdom, where he qualified as a glider pilot. And with his new qualifications under his belt, John was posted to the Canadian Joint Airborne Training Center in Rivers, Manitoba, where he did a considerable amount of gliding training and indoctrination of flights of parachute training students. And it goes on, and it goes on, and it goes on. It is our absolute pleasure and honor, representing the Governor-General of Canada. I've asked Councillor Villeneuve to be with me, representing local government, and together it is our absolute pleasure. Now, as you can see, John is not with us. He unfortunately is in the hospital recovering from pneumonia, but his son Mark is with us, and his wife, and to them we give this great honor.
One last word. John and I met before. Maybe you didn't know that. And we were both in Chilliwack in the same time. So that doesn't make us any younger, isn't it? I wish him best recovery. I hope and see him pretty soon. Thank you. Just that's my word.
This concludes the ceremonies for today. As soon as we can and the hall is set up, we'll be reopening for this afternoon for comradeship and a few good laughs. Thank you again for showing up on such a miserable day, and we'll hope to see you here next year. Bye-bye.